Yay, yay. Pushing picks like weight. Thursday night football is here tomorrow. And 2-5 is here right now. So, Thursday night football. Chicago Bears, Washington Commanders. Two iconic NFL franchises who have fallen on hard times recently. Even though Washington just won the East a few years ago, but whatever. You know what I mean. So, we're going to find out something about Chicago tomorrow that we found out about Washington this past weekend. So, Washington got smacked around by Buffalo 34-3. Sam Howell got sacked 9 times, threw 4 picks. And, then they had to go to Philadelphia up to the link last week. And they were able to take it into overtime. So we saw that Washington is able to bounce back. Now, Chicago, on the other hand, had a 28-7 lead against the Denver Broncos. Justin Fields probably playing the best game since Ohio State. Cole Kmet with 2 touchdowns. DJ Moore went off for over 100 yards. And then they collapsed, mostly due to Eberflus. Remember, they were tied at 28. They had a chance to kick a field goal or go forward on 4th and 1. He tries to draw Denver off sides. It doesn't work. He calls the timeout anyway, wastes the timeout. And then they hand the ball to Khalil Herbert on 4th down, gets stuffed at the line. Denver gets the ball. We know the rest. So can Chicago bounce back after such a heartache? Justin Fields has already been calling out the coaches. Chase Claypool is pretty much gone. He's home, not even with the team. So lots going on in the Windy City. But these two teams are mirror images of each other in some ways. Sam Howell has been sacked 24 times to lead the league. Justin Fields third at 17. Both teams are middle of the pack on defense, except for the pass, where Chicago is like slightly worse, but Washington's 20th against the pass, Chicago 28th. So can Justin Fields get started again? He had 231 yards in the first half in this game against Denver on Sunday. Finished with 335 yards, 4 touchdowns, and then, of course, the pick that pretty much helped Denver win the game. So, what's going to happen here? Who can run the ball? That's always going to be important in a game like this, because both teams have not new, but relatively young quarterbacks that are still trying to figure out their way. Sam Howell has looked better than expected, with Eric Bieniemy at the helm as the offensive coordinator. Ron Rivera, this guy, he thought the offense was too tired to go for 2. Wouldn't that mean that the defense is tired too? Doesn't the offense get all the benefit of the doubt call-wise, and the game is structured so that the offense can succeed? But yet the offense was tired. Get him out of here. But anyway, Sam Howell against Philly, 29-41, 290 and a touchdown. And what should have been a completion on the sideline to Terry McLaurin that was ruled incomplete. But, whatever. No need crying over spilled milk. Washington does get around 3 sacks per game. The Bears, no pressure at half a sack a game. The Bears have given up 25 points in 14 straight games. But wouldn't it be so fitting of Washington to snap that? So the Bears this season have given up the 2nd most points and the 5th most yards. Washington has given up the 4th most points and 11th most yards. So there goes some more of those parallels where we're looking at 2 of the same teams, except for one of them hasn't won a game yet. I think that Chicago should be able to have success, as long as Justin Fields doesn't think too much. That's the thing. There was a stat that ESPN put out about how a couple of plays per game, he usually has 4 seconds to pass, and he either gets sacked throws an incompletion or interception because I think that he's thinking too much instead of just taking off and running because Chase Young and the crew are going to be on him tomorrow. So he's going to have to use those wheels to keep the defense honest. So Eddie Jackson still not practicing. That's a big loss for Chicago. He has a foot injury. We already talked about Claypool not being with the team. Jalen Johnson, who I like a lot out of the University of Utah with a hamstring issue. Now for Washington, Jahan Dotson has been limited in practice with an ankle injury. And then you got Curtis Samuel not practicing with a quad. So I don't expect him to go tomorrow. The Bears under Matt Eberflus are 1-9 on the road. So Sam Howell in the season, 4 touchdowns, 5 picks. 4 of those picks against Buffalo, like I mentioned. So that right there shows you that might have just been a bad game. We saw Washington come back from 21-3 against Denver on the road. So they are battle tested, whereas the Bears are just battled. So I do think that the Bears may be able to hold Washington under 25 to break that streak. So my final score here is 23-17 Washington. Remember, they played last year on Thursday Night Football, 12-7. St. Juice made the play late in the game. Justin Fields overthrew 2 wide open receivers, and they could have won that game by double digits. So I just haven't seen enough from him consistently to trust that he can recreate what happened Sunday in back-to-back games. So give me Washington 23-17. I'll be back tomorrow with a preview for Illinois and Nebraska on Friday, for Kansas State at Oklahoma State on Friday. Until then, Godspeed. Like, review, subscribe. Peace.